Hey, this is Marcus Lawrence, and you're listening to Harris's Drinkin Again podcast.
Yo. Back up in the building for another edition of the Harry's Drinkin Again podcast. I am your host, Harry Too Scary, aka Mr. Harris. And we got a very, very special episode for you tonight. Mr. Mark Christopher Lawrence will be with us in the building in about 30 minutes. We're gonna jump right into it because Mark Christopher Lawrence will be on here shortly. You know his face, top right-hand corner here. He's been in movies. He's been in movies galore. You could catch him on Dry Bar Comedy. I mean, he's been in Caddyshack, starting in 1988. Listen to Me, Terminator 2, Child's Play 3, Fear of a Black Hat, 1201, Crimson Tide, Tales from the Hood, That Darn Cat, Sprung, Senseless, Molly, Shake, Rattle, and Roll, An American Love Story, Planet of the Apes, Two Could Play That Game, K-PAX, Garfield the Movie. I mean, just so many more and more. Halloween 2, Speed Dating, The Pursuit of Happiness, The Island, Cooties, The Death of Rasputin, Conflict of Interest, Circus Kane, West of Hell, Mr. Malevolent, The Flourish, One Fine Christmas. Last year, Family Camp. He played Pastor Dave. He's been in Romeo and Juliet. Television shows like Designing Women, Seinfeld, In Living Color, Martin, Seinfeld, Third Rock from the Sun, Coach, Sister, Kelly, Malcolm and Eddie, Touched by an Angel, Malcolm in the Middle, Dharma and Greg, Emerald, American Dreams, Crossing Jordan, Reba, Center of the Universe, God damn, Weeds, Heroes, and it goes on and on and on. So we got a very lit show. And by the way, as out of respect for the guest tonight, there will be very minimal cursing. This man, he's a Christian man. He's a clean comic. So I'm going to be watching my mouth while he's on the show. And that's a request that he did have. You know, he doesn't do a lot of the vulgarity. And salute to that. And I don't have to be vulgar all the time. It's fun to curse, and I definitely will later on in the show. But when he's on here, we're going to ask some questions, get to know him, and just break down his life and career and have a very interesting show. We do not take this interview lightly. This man here is blessing us with his time, with his wisdom, and stories throughout the entertainment realm. Mark Christopher Lawrence. Welcome, sir, to the Harris's Drinkin Again podcast. Actor and comedian extraordinaire. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Hey, the pleasure is mine, brother.
All right.
Oh, we got a lot to talk about today, Mr. Lawrence. What would be your comfortable name that we can address you?
MCL is what most people call me, or Mark Christopher.
MCL?
Yeah, so whatever you like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm Brother Ray G, and that's Harris, or Harry Too Scary. I'm sorry, I gotta break down, man. MCL, man. I'm going through a little bit of I would say starstruck. I hope you don't mind, because you're in my favorite movies of all time. In Pursuit of Happiness. Every time I'm feeling down, I gotta watch that story, and you played Wayne in that. Where's my money, Wayne? Where's my $14, Wayne?
Hey, it was Will Smith. He probably didn't need the $14 as much as I did at the time.
Hey, I tell you, I used to, watch you, and I go, wow, we're gonna have him. Wow. So forgive me if I'm a little starstruck. If I'm a little.
Well, let me tell you this. My tight circle of friends are there are a couple in the industry, and the rest are not. And we are there for each other no matter what, and that keeps me grounded. So just a regular dude, man.
Just a regular dude.
Put my
Yeah.
pants on like everybody else, lay on the bed and hope they still fit after
Yeah.
18 months of laying around and eating.
Now,
That's what's up.
now, can you get into just a brief history of your beginnings and just where you grew up and kind of maybe lead us up until you got your break in the industry?
I don't even know that I've had my break in the industry. It's been a grind, and I'm still grinding. I grew up in Compton, California. I had a teacher in the 10th grade, Mrs. Schilling, that got me involved in speech and put me in my first play. Introduced me to a guy who kind of talked me into, along with my best friend, Lennon, talked me into doing stand-up. So in the 11th grade, I was on the stand-up stage in the 11th grade, so that was 1981, for the first time. And then I got to college, went to USC on a debate scholarship. I had a debate coach that had a friend who was an agent. She came to see me in a play at USC and sent me out for it. She said, give me your card because I want to represent you. So I go to her office and meet with her, and I didn't have pictures, I didn't have money. She bought my first pictures. That's just God blessing, you know what I mean? And
Right.
First audition was for a TV show called Hill Street Blues, which
Hill Street Blues, that's right.
changed the way we watch television. All the cop shows are patterned after Hill Street Blues
Yes.
today.
Yes.
I auditioned for it, and it's on the machine. I got it before I even get home. It's on the machine. So for the next year, I'd run home and check my machine, see if I got the job, and didn't book another TV or film gig for a year. And that was Caddyshack 2. But in the meantime, I was doing professional plays at the Los Angeles Theater Center. Still going to college. After college, fast forward to 88, and all my friends that were on the debate team were clerking for judges or working for major law firms. And 5 years into post college, I was like, man, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I need to go back and get that law degree. Maybe I need to find something else to do. And like God, every time I've tried to do something else outside of the industry, he closes that door and opens another door for me in the industry. That first door that closed, I hadn't had a job in about 3 months since I was starting to panic. And I go and take a class for dealing cards. You can audit the class, the first class. If you like it, you pay $499, and they teach you how to deal cards. And before the first break, Suits came in and closed the class down.
Wow.
Apparently, they were funneling money through there. They were cleaning up some money, using it as money. And they shut the class down. I was so glad I hadn't spent that $499 because I didn't really have it. Wow. And then about a week and a half later, I get a call from the wardrobe designer from Terminator 2. And I had auditioned for Terminator 2, I think, like 2 months before, and hadn't heard anything, so I just assumed I didn't get it. And the wardrobe designer said, she needed my sizes, and I was like, what is this for? She goes, Terminator 2. Called my agents and said, hey, I got a call from the wardrobe designer for Terminator 2. They said, yeah, we're talking to him now. And that was sort of the beginning of my career becoming steady.
Mark, I want to, and you know what? I saw your age and everything. I'm 55 years old, so I'm just. Well, you know what? Because we have. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna give this little secret. Okay, okay. You're married or not married? Okay, girlfriend, whatever. See, the Filipino secret is you gotta learn how to kind of like ariukin your problems to the wife. So she aged, but you don't. That's a little nugget. That's a little nugget. Okay, I just want to let you know. Okay, it's a Filipino secret, yo. You don't know that yet. Yeah. So yeah, you just gotta know how to ariukin to the other person.
Oh my God.
So Yeah.
You like
so
sleeping on the
I
couch,
sleep-
don't you?
Okay.
Yeah, my first job out of college was with the San Francisco Mime Troupe, and I stayed in Richmond that first month.
Oh my God, Richmond,
Compton, felt right at home. Compton,
Rich Town. Wait. You said Richmond, my brother, man. I gotta know
Right
where
up there
in
by the mall,
Richmond. Oh, by Hilltop Mall.
up by Hilltop. Yeah.
Oh Lord, this brother right here, man. Okay, much respect. Double time, double step. All right, the
Yeah, but my
Trojans.
first semester, I went to San Diego State and was complete fish out of water. I went from student body president, captain of the football team, captain of the wrestling team, president of the speech team, to the only black guy in all my classes. So that first semester, I was so fish out of water that I said to my mom, I said, hey, I need to come home and regroup. And
Right.
so I went home and I went to Cerritos College for 3 semesters, and I won the national and the state speech tournaments. And the national tournament, I had a coach from USC in every round as a judge of every speech. And at the end of the tournament, when I took home 4 trophies, the head of the department came to me and he says, hey, I want to talk to you about coming to USC. And his name was Tom Hollahan. And I said, well, I can't afford to go to USC. He said, did I ask you for any money? And
Wow.
gave me a full scholarship.
Growing up, were you just naturally inclined to, I mean, was it your upbringing, your mother, your father that really rooted you? I mean, navigating through Compton in that era when the whole thing was going on, was it just your...
I don't know if you saw that there's a series on, I think, Netflix called Them. I don't know if you've seen that. It's about this black family. The husband gets a job and he contacts a realtor near where he works, which is close to Compton. She sells him a house, gets him a house. He moves his family there. They're the first black family on that street. And all kinds of stuff started happening to them. We were the second black family on our street. My mother, a single mother, raising 3 kids, bought a house in Compton in 1969. We were the second black family on our street. She bought
And
it.
how many were you?
There were 3 kids. And
Okay.
she bought the house because it was 2 blocks from the high school, Linwood High School. And when she bought the house, it was Linwood. But that summer, they rezoned, and the fence that ran through our backyard became the fence that separated Linwood from Compton in that area. So our address now became Compton, and my brother couldn't go to Linwood High School. He had to go to Dominguez High School, which is where I went.
Was that part of that white flight that happened in Compton?
That didn't happen until about 1973. So 72, there's 2 black families on our street. By 74, most of the white families had moved out and gone to like Simi Valley. By 76, they were all gone except one family.
Oh, sounds like
And
life.
that family,
Okay.
I think they stayed there until I graduated high school.
But were you ever, influenced or any capacity to take yourself elsewhere, or was this like, did you really feel it in your heart and soul since you were a young man that you were gonna, pursue your dreams and really be on that right path?
Here's the thing about environment. You can take a frog and put it in a pot of cold water and put it on a stove and slowly turn the fire up, and the frog will just adapt and adapt and adapt until he boils to death. So because when we moved there, because of what the demographics were racially in our neighborhood, that was worse than when the black families started coming in and the gangs started moving in. And as a kid, that doesn't really bother you because it changed while I was there. It wasn't like we moved from this pristine area into this gang infested area.
Right.
It changed while we were there. And so, really, it's like you don't even think about it while you're in it. It wasn't until I left there and ended up in college going, wow,
seeing more of the world.
This could have went a long, the wrong way, because there were a lot of guys my age in my neighborhood that didn't make it out. You know, some dead in jail, hooked on crack. You know, that happens, and I was blessed, you know, to get out of it.
And what would you advise on the upcoming people that is trying to follow your footsteps where you came from?
First of all, I'm clean. My act is basically a clean act. I opened for Robin Harris quite a bit before he passed, and he would you know, do a park on a Saturday and invite me to open. And he told me, he says, Mark, always write clean. He says, you can work anywhere. He says, if you're out in the middle of nowhere and it's a dirty show and it's not going well and you need to dirty up a joke, it's easy to dirty up a joke. He says, but a joke that's dirty by premise, you can't clean up. And that's coming from
Robin Harris, Baby Kids, Robin Harris.
Yeah, wow. Robin was doing the same act, squeaky clean, the same act that he did on Friday and Saturday night at the Comedy Act Theater in Leimert Park. He'd do that same act in a park, like we did Victoria Park several times. And he'd do that same act, squeaky clean.
Wow. Rest in peace, Robin Harris, the legend.
You know, when you're going out and auditioning for these roles, I mean, is it known as well, your agent and these things, that, hey, you know, only look for roles that suit who you are as a man character? Or?
No.
There's no limits?
I had a conversation with Della Reese one time. We were working on her show, Touched by an Angel. And, you know, I loved her in Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights, yeah.
So she has that fight with Eddie Murphy. It's so fun.
Yeah. I'll shoot that toe, or
yeah,
I'll shoot that
so
toe
I said
off.
to her, when I got there, you know, when I met her, I said, I just watched Harlem Nights for like the 20th time last night. I said, it's so funny. I said, you're so good at it. And I asked her, I said, did you get any? She was a minister. I said, did you get any pushback because of that role? And she said, baby, she says, you're asking me because you're contemplating whether or not to take a role. And she says, let me tell you this. God won't open a door for you that he doesn't want you to go through. And people that don't understand that wasn't me cussing like a sailor, that's the character. That's their issue, not yours. Take your job, baby. She says, because you never know who God needs to reach through you. Your presence on a set, them watching you. She says, people are watching you. She says, and God's love and light is shining through you. So there's no need to not take a job. You know, we're actors. That's what we do. Take your job, and you know, God will open the doors that he wants you to go through. So no, I don't tell my agents to censor anything.
Has there ever been a role that you have turned down just because, you know, you thought maybe this is too extreme?
I turned down a role in a commercial years ago, 2 commercials actually. Cigarettes. My mom smoked when I was a kid, and it bugged me. And we did Fear of a Black Hat, played a rapper, tone deaf. And right after that movie, I got offered 2 roles in commercials, one that shot in Germany, one that shot in England, and they were both cigarette commercials, and I passed on them both. And because in my head, they were using a rapper to sell cigarettes to kids, because, you know, grown folks wouldn't listen to rap music at that time.
Was the money that they're offering you to do those commercial, I mean, were they exceptional?
It was great money, yeah, but it didn't matter to me because I didn't want to sell cigarettes to kids.
Your principle was way more than I respect that. Totally respect that. Totally respect that. Thank you for that. Yes. For all of those who is listening to the show, you heard it from the man. What about this? What about the times when, you know, I'm pretty sure, you know, did you have a lot of rejections? I mean,
here's the thing. when you don't get a job, I don't look at it as a rejection. I look at it as they went another way. Every actor brings their own different thing to it.
Right.
So they're not rejecting me. They just chose somebody else. Because on this level, everybody is good. You walk in the room, there's 10 or 12 guys there, and all of them are working actors. So it's not like somebody watches watches what you do and go, well, that's horrible. Beat it, kid. That doesn't happen. My first job, as I told you, was Hill Street Blues. I didn't work again in film and TV for a year. And I would rush home and check my machine. And it hit me that I'm not going to get them all. Best thing that could ever happen to me, because now I just do the audition and let it go. You come to an understanding that there's going to be times, there's going to be periods where you're not working. It's up and down. It's like a roller coaster. There's very high highs, very low lows. So it's a matter of figuring out other things to do. I'm an actor. I'm a comic. I can write. I can produce. I can do auctions. So it's a matter of the more you can do. I do voiceovers. The more you can do, the more you do. Yeah. So it cuts down on that free time.
You just got this stinging like Wayne, like gosh, and you just have this memorable I guess feature about you. I know I'm making you sound like you're an object, but but I don't know the terminology. I'm not in the business, but to me that's like, I know that guy. Yeah.
I think, as an actor, I mean, I definitely have presence. It's like I'm not a person that you forget. That aura that you're talking about is two things. One, the love and light of God shining through me.
Yes.
And two, combined with that presence that he helps me exude when I walk into the room. I don't walk in all, every day in everyday situations.
Right.
I'm pretty low key most of the time. My late friend Tommy Ford, he had a presence that was just palpable. It's like you could touch it. He was so bigger than life, And when it was just me and him, we were just brothers hanging out. And then we walk into a room, and he would take the room. It's like his presence was just boom, just huge. And I had a conversation with Denzel one time, and I told him, I said, I'm actually better looking than you, Denzel. I said, you just carry yourself like you're the best looking guy in the world. And he said, yeah, that's it. He said, if you can carry that into the room every time, he said, you book more jobs. And
so it's the attitude and the self-confidence that you're saying.
Yeah, there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. And so it's like, can you exude confidence without being arrogant? And some people are not good at that. Some people just come off as arrogant.
Is it possible to be too humble at all? Is that just maybe not you believe?
I mean, you can be humble to a fault. I mean, sometimes that kind of happens. When you work, it's like you do a job and you're being humble, and sometimes they take advantage of that. But you got to know your worth too, and demand some sort of respect when you're working, or people will take advantage of you being humble. I'm never in the mirror. Never in the mirror. Even just on a daily basis, one thing that I do almost every day is before I go to sleep, unless I'm just exhausted and just pass out, I run a Shakespeare monologue through my head. So
would you mind giving us a little bit of that? You mind giving us a little bit of that soliloquy?
Now is the winter of our discontent made glorious summer by this sun of York, and all the clouds that lowered upon our house in the deep bosom of the ocean, buried. Now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alorums changed to merry meetings. Grim-visaged war has smoothed his wrinkled front, and now, instead of mounting barbed steeds to fright the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in the latest chamber. Yeah.
Oh, That's a clip. Oh,
Wow.
yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Angle
Yes.
Wall says, "Bring this man back." You love the interview. They love the show.
I love it so. I love it so much. I gotta speak to you in Tagalog, man. Mark Christopher Lawrence, man. Salamat pare. Ikaw ang pinaka talaga. Ang galing mo talaga. Pag nandyan ako sa San Diego, bibisitahin kita. At saka ngayon, pamilya. We are family. Thank you. God
Cool,
bless you, brother.
All right, I'll see you in Honolulu.
Okay, thank you. All right.
All right, Mark,
Ladies and gentlemen,
everybody.
Mark Christopher Lawrence. Harris
you,
is
brother.
drinking again.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Good night, fellas.
Good night. Thank you. God bless you.
Hey, this is Marcus from Lawrence, and you're watching Harris is Drinking Again.